And hello again, YouTube. It's Friday night, and it smells like antifreeze in my car. I definitely got a leak somewhere in my heater box, somewhere. So it's Friday, October 28th, 2022. 6:29 p.m. I'm making pretty good time to work. As you see, I'm coming up on heading northbound on I-17. Just went through the Durango curve, so yeah. Going across at this point, going across on the Loop 202 to I-10 just never works in the 6 o'clock hour. It just doesn't. What is this fool doing? Really? You're entering a freeway at 35 miles per hour? That's epic. The pedal on the right makes it go, dude. And if it doesn't, you need to get it the fuck off the freeway. Wow. Hey, he's up to 40 miles per hour now. 42. I was making good time before this jackass pulled in front of me. There's enough traffic, I can't just zip around it. Anyway, yeah, so going across on the 202 to the 10 just never seems to work in the 6 o'clock hour these days anymore. Usually this is pretty good, but I got this guy here who apparently is drunk. He's weaving between lanes without a blinker. Well, thank God he's not going on to the 10. Later, idiot. That guy has no rear bumper. Wonder why. Anyway, yeah, I was using the traffic view on the iPhone, so I wasn't able to shoot the first half of my drive. Took a slightly different route that I've never taken before. Did more or less the same thing I did the other day, coming across on Air Lane, which pretty decent, not as good as last time. I had somebody in front of me that was doing 35 miles per hour, and I'm thinking, is the speed limit really this low on this street, or you know, or have I, you know, and have I always just driven faster than I'm supposed to through here, or is this guy just not understanding that we're on, even though it's only a one-lane each direction road, that we're on something that has zero cross traffic and next to zero pedestrian traffic, and we can go quickly on this, and the speed limit is, I did pass the speed limit sign. The speed limit is 40. It's kind of funny, I've never really noticed the speed limit on that. I usually just drive 45 to 50 on it because it's just an open, straight road. But, yeah, I had to do 35 on it because I was stuck behind somebody. That kind of sucked. And I think that person was lost as well, because at one point they pulled over and were half blocking the lane and half in the bike lane. It kills me when people do that. Like, if you're lost, like, find a parking lot and pull into a parking lot. Don't stop where you're blocking traffic. That's not cool, ever.
Could trigger more automatic recounts at election time.
Oh yeah, that's all. Whatever. You know, speaking of news, something that came on the other day on KTAR when I wasn't vlogging that's very interesting is a woman was arrested in Bullhead City for feeding homeless people in a park. Apparently they've got a law against that. The Institute for Justice has picked up the case, so presumably they've got a video about it on YouTube. I haven't seen it yet, I want to look for it. Institute for Justice, very interesting YouTube channel. I think they're kind of a libertarian organization that basically gets behind people and helps them with their legal battles when they're fighting a municipality with a law that just really appears unconstitutional on its face. And as much as I would like homeless people to be vacating public parks and going home to a home, getting a job, getting a home, finding housing, going to a shelter, something, anything, get the fuck out of the park. The reality is, homeless people are people, and they're citizens too, and have just as much right to enjoy a park as everybody else. Now, granted, they shouldn't be doing drugs in the park. They shouldn't be, bringing stolen shopping carts into the park and piles of garbage, but they're as entitled to eat a picnic in the park as anybody. So, yeah, interested to see where that case goes. I can't.
Judge here in Arizona has denied a bid
Oh, this is interesting.
Clean Elections USA ballot watchers, saying that would violate their constitutional rights.
Hell yeah.
This comes after groups
That's what I
claiming to
said.
be with Clean Elections USA, which is a known supporter of election fraud claims, were seen outside ballot drop boxes in Maricopa County, which led to multiple voter intimidation complaints. There's a new state law that has widened the margin of votes needed to trigger an automatic...
If you're intimidated by people in public with guns in Arizona, you need to understand this is an open carry state. And probably take your chicken shit ass somewhere else.
Upwards of 15,000. Scott Jarrett with the Maricopa County Elections.
Those people have a right to pack. You also have a right to pack. You should take advantage
after the
of it.
statewide canvas
Unless, of course, you're a
completed on
good felon by me.
December 5th. Then
Like me.
Then the Secretary of State needs to go through and do a logic and accuracy.
Respectful
test.
and don't have a gun on you until you file a petition and get that right restored, which I should really do.
December 13th.
the county expects to complete the recount, hand count, and court filing.
Anyway, glad a judge upheld their right to look scary in public with guns and quote unquote tactical gear. Yeah, and the right to shoot video in public as well. So, damn, I made really good time. All in all, I made really good time to work. Got back on the freeway quickly. So I was saying I took Airlane, but the split where I normally take I-10, it's actually I-10 East, but I had southbound on it to get over to the 17, the start of the 17. Yeah, that was all jammed up on the Google traffic view. So what I ended up doing was turning left off Airlane, right on 24th, or sorry, left off of Airlane to 24th Street. Wow, that fool got no taillights. Some jackass trying to pass me on the right in something that isn't a lane. Yeah, that is not only not a passing lane, it's not a lane. Cool your jets, asshole. Wish I had a rear-facing camera for that.
Michael Sullivan was officially
What?
sworn in as chief for the Phoenix Police Department today. During his ceremony, he made a promise.
To the officers of the Phoenix Police Department, I will do everything I can to make sure you are properly trained, equipped, supervised, and supported.
So what, that last chief was out in like, what, 2 months? Damn. Damn. Alrighty then. So,
temporary Twitter ban for anti-Semitic comments has sparked more conversations on violence
Oh,
against
this is
Jewish
interesting.
communities. Debbie Junker-Kale with ASU Hillel says it's not uncommon for students to feel silenced in speaking out against anti-Semitism.
They might have felt intimidated that they didn't know, quote, everything there is to know about this topic, and so they feel hesitant to speak out.
More than 2,700 anti-Semitic incidents were reported in Arizona last year. That's according to the state chapter of the Anti-Defamation League. Maricopa County Animal Care and Control is temporarily
personally, I'm not in favor of racists and bigots being silenced. Hear me out on this.
A number of dogs have tested positive for distemper.
If they're silenced, then they take their internal racism and bigotry and hide it. And I would rather those people just put it right out in the open so I know who those people are. And so I know not to be around them. Just throwing that out there. All right, now we have these people blocking the intersection. Yeah, so common driving law that's not enforced a lot, and way too many people just do what is happening in front of me, is it's illegal to block an intersection. Even though the light is green, unless there is space on the other side of the intersection for you to drive forward to, you're not supposed to enter the intersection. I'm going to be really irritated if that light turns red and there are vehicles directly in front of me that prohibit me from going when I have a green light. Fortunately, I did move forward, but I'm getting ready to see these idiots blocking the road again. It's an unusual amount of northbound traffic on 75th Avenue for this time of day. And we got more people blocking the intersection, but fortunately not my lane.
Actually have a microchip.
Let's go, girl.
Anyway, so yeah, I took a different route. Left on 24th Street, right on, wow, amazingly they managed to clear the intersection. Right on Sky Harbor Circle, took Sky Harbor Circle over to Buckeye. And then I took Buckeye to, and this is where I did something completely different that I've never done before. I turned left on 11th Street. And I figured 11th Street would go through all the way to the I-17 access road. And it didn't. It got within 1 block, and I forget what street I actually turned on. It was definitely south of Mojave. You know, speaking of Mojave, I used to always use Mojave as a thoroughfare, but since they built the rental car center, which stops Mojave from going through from 16th to 24th, it's just not as appealing as a thoroughfare anymore. And that used to be one of my dad's favorite thoroughfares when I was a kid. He used to use Mojave when the freeway was jammed up to go to the Sky Harbor Air National Guard base. So vivid memories of my dad using Mojave as a thoroughfare from sometimes you get on it as early as 7th Street and take it all the way to 24th Street. Yeah, I very distinctly remember what a ghetto the area between 16th Street and 24th Street was along Mojave. Kind of a shame. Kind of a shame all that stuff just got destroyed, you know, for that whole Sky Harbor industrial park, which is largely still, you know, 25 years later, just vacancies. Just, you know, vacant lots, and a lot of buildings that were built that are mostly vacant as well. I mean, at least the rental car center is there. That's a productive thing, but I do miss Mojave going through. Anyway, went south on 11th Avenue to whatever street it was, south of Mojave. It was just barely north of the access road. Like, there's a small vacant lot where I could see the access road, but I couldn't go there. I'm assuming ADOT owns that land and is just waiting for some developer who wants to do something interesting with it. But it's a real small patch of land, so God knows what anybody could actually do with it. Anyway, turned right there. Whatever the next left was, I could turn left on. I turned left there, and then made a quick right up the access road. A stop sign instead of a yield sign there, which was a little bit awkward. And you know, but from there I got the green light, just whoop, right onto the 17, and that's when I started recording. And hey, look, we're here already. At 6:41. So it's a Friday. I don't normally work Fridays. In fact, I've hardly ever worked a Friday. This is my approved shift swap for my Thursday night because we're still doing mandatory overtime here at GYR3. I think I'm done with my cross training in prep. Although the people that I like working with that run outbound aren't going to be working right now, and I'm really cool with the people that work second half and inbound. So I think I'm going to start my day by heading over to inbound and seeing if that's where I can work tonight. You know, just maybe as a water spider, maybe as a forklift driver. I really don't know. But yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna start my day. And then if they say, oh, well, you gotta go to prep receive because you're still on training, well, then that's where I go. Simple as that. Yeah, I was gonna talk about more about last night's karaoke show because I didn't really talk about it much beyond my technical issues. So I had some idiot people at the bar issues as well. I really wanted to talk about those, but I guess that's gonna have to wait for the next video. As for my tech issues, apparently the digital input just straight up no longer works on the Samsung monitor that's been at Bolux for the last year plus. Yeah, I tried one brand new cable on it last night before I started my show, one of the lower end ones. I tried one of the higher end StarTech cables on it when I got home. None of them work. And then just to make sure it was not an issue with my video card or my computer being finicky, I've got a Samsung high definition TV tuner. I've actually got 2 of them from the early days of high definition TV, back when HD TVs were actually HD ready TVs and didn't come with tuners built in. It's a really badass tuner. It predates HDMI, so for high definition outputs, it has component video, VGA, and DVI. And the great thing about its DVI is it doesn't require any kind of detection of anything like a video card does. It just simply puts out a video signal on the DVI. And it's really helpful. Like, I don't use it as a TV tuner anymore. I mean, the only TV that I have that I really use is the big one in the living room, and it's got an internal tuner, which is excellent. And I don't even watch broadcast TV on it very much. I mean, when I was on a more traditional schedule, I used to like watching Good Morning Arizona on it. But at this point, like, I get home, I've listened to enough news on the radio. I just want to, you know, listen to my music and unwind. But the anyway, I did try it on a couple other monitors to make sure, hey, is this thing still outputting video like it always does, where it's just simply not finicky and sends out a. And I can set it at a low resolution, which is always monitor friendly too. I can put it at 480p because pretty much any crap monitor is going to resolve 480p on DVI. And yeah, that digital input, which is weird because the panel works fine. Like, I turn the panel on and its splash screen comes on, and I can hit like the menu, and its menu comes up. But apparently, whatever circuitry is on the input of the DVI connector, it's no good. The monitor still might work on its VGA input, but that's really of no use to me at all. I don't even have VGA headers on my karaoke computer anymore. I just have because it's a low profile computer. I have there is VGA on the video card, but yeah, I've got a low profile header. I didn't even install the header for the VGA. I just have a low profile header with HDMI and DVI, which is all I use. I mean, I suppose conceivably I could install a VGA header for it if I could find one. I mean, I know I've got them. God knows where they are. But yeah, I don't really want to fuck with that. So anyway, I went through some of my other monitors. I did find an old Lenovo monitor that I had stopped working. It's got a little teeny tiny narrow, like 1 pixel wide red line on it, which is really easy to ignore. I'm probably going to bring that one. I've got it set up on that monitor right now. Of course, as soon as I ran. Now, that one was giving me problems in the past, but I never did rule out if it was a cable or not. I just switched over to the Samsung monitor because I like the Samsung monitor better. But that Lenovo is working just fine with the StarTech DVI cable. I got that set up on my in my living room right now. Just working on, not really working on music because I didn't hook up any audio with it. So right now I run HDMI audio into my system. That's how I get into the whole sound system in the living room. So I just actually have sound coming through the computer I have. It's a little Dell, like kind of a little office mini tower, mini desktop setup that's been customized for hosting karaoke on. It's actually got a little tiny speaker in it, and its onboard sound will drive that speaker if nothing else is connected, or if I manually tell it to drive that. So yeah, not really suitable for working on music, but at least I can hear, yeah, there's sound on that file. So it's something. And it's okay, you know, for anyway. So I had it set up like that. I did do some obviously I'm not adding anything to my libraries, but I was able to do some downloading and just do some organizing, because once again I got so many things downloaded that my YouTube downloader is starting to have issues with too much in its history. So which is that a bug in the program? Yeah, I suppose kind of it is, but I don't think anybody ever expected somebody to leave as many thousands of files in the history as I do. So I don't really stress on it when it's that much. It's just, that's like my sign that I need to start putting those things away. So yeah, I worked on that for a while and stuff. And I think I really like the monitor. I forget what brand name it is, but the monitor that's been in my living room for the last month or so, I really like that one there. So I think I'm gonna take the Lenovo back to Bullocks. In the meantime, I'm probably gonna use it for the next week. That way I just take it off my desk when I pack up the computer and go there next Thursday. Anyway, I need to get my ass inside. Want to at least eat and drink a little something before I go to work. But thanks for coming with me on the drive, and thanks for watching.